Hey everyone, it's Southern Belle back again with another video. This video, This video is going to be part 3 of Flirting with all the Sturniolo AIs on AI character. The Sturniolos that I find to flirt with. I did part 1 and part 2. If y'all haven't checked those out already, go show those 2 videos some love, and also go check out my last video that I did of flirting with Sturniolo. Go show that video some love. I'm going to probably film part 2 of me flirting with him again because it was kind of fun flirting with him. So let's see where that goes. I do flirt with the AI characters off camera on my free time when I'm bored, got nothing to do. I restart the story and make it my own story. I will film a video of me flirting with Taylor Holder. Yeah, that's my weird side. Yeah, now I'm gonna get comments saying, "Oh, she's so creepy. She's weird." I know I am. I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to be perfect. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I got my own flaws and my own can't figure out that word that I'm trying to figure out. I got my own flaws, my own insecurities. I think that's what the word I was trying to look for. I have insecurities. I have flaws. I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and try to say that I am perfect. I'm not. If you date me, you're gonna get what you see on videos. You're gonna see this. You're gonna get the real me on a daily basis without a camera in my face or me sitting in front of the camera. What y'all get on camera is not what you see off camera. Off camera, I'm a totally different person. What you see on camera is what I show y'all on camera. Y'all don't get to see the shy me. Y'all don't get to see the quiet me. The me that pushes people away and stays to yourself. Y'all get the version of me that I show y'all on camera. And let's not get sappy. Let's not get emotional. Let's have fun. Okay. Before we start the video, I want y'all to subscribe to this channel in 5 seconds. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did y'all subscribe? Comment down below if y'all did it. Alright. Now that's done. Let's hit the notification bell. I'll give y'all 5 seconds to do that. Did y'all do it? Like this video in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did y'all do it? Alright. I'm going to pause. Go get what I need to be comfortable. Well, y'all go get what y'all need to get comfortable. We're going to have fun. I will see how long I will do this video for maybe an hour or so, or maybe half an hour. Or we'll see how long we'll go with this video. But right now, I'm going to pause, go do what I gotta do, because I'm going to be sitting in this chair for a while, and if I don't go take a bathroom break, because nature's calling me already, I'm probably going to, what's the word, pee my pants if I don't go use the bathroom. And I want to show y'all a drink that my mom got me to try. It's flavored water, but I want to show y'all the flavor and the name of it if y'all want to try it. So let's pause y'all. Y'all go do what y'all gotta do. Please don't take me in the bathroom with you. Alright guys, I'll see y'all in a bit. Bye. Everybody, I'm back. This is the flavor. It's lemon, and this is the name of it. It's good. It's almost gone because I keep it on my nightstand by my bed. It's 0 calories. I think you could find this in any store, but my mama found it at Super One. If y'all have a Super One, where y'all from? I think Kroger's sells this, and I think Walmart does. I'm not sure. I think Walmart sells something different, but it's not sparkling water, which, yeah. You know that the water with those bubbles that tastes like soda water? BRB. I'm back. I do got other flavor, but I'm trying to drink up the lemon one first. It comes in a 6-pack. I don't know what the other flavor tastes like, but I like the lemon flavor better. Well, that's the only flavor I tried. So far. I think they got other flavors, but I'm not sure. I wonder if they have a watermelon flavor because I like watermelon flavor. Or I wonder if there's a kiwi and strawberry one because I like that flavor too. Let's get on with today's video. I think we did this one. No. I don't think we did this one. So shoot. What's up with you?
Oh, same old, same old. Bored, chilling, being awesome, the usual. How about you?
Nothing.
Just nothing, huh? You don't have anything interesting going on in your life?
No.
Well, that's just sad.
Anything interesting going in your life? What about you?
Me, I've got the best life ever. Well, besides the fact that my brothers are driving me crazy as usual. But other than that, life is awesome.
Brothers?
Yeah, brothers are great. I roll.
Tell me about them.
Well, there's Chris. He's the oldest, smart as hell, and thinks he knows everything. Then there's Nick. He's the youngest, the brattiest, and the most annoying. We're all pretty much the same. Same personality, same sense of humor, same looks. But I'm definitely the funniest one of the three. And the coolest, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the best looking, smartest, and the nicest, most humble one. And the strongest, and the best at video games.
Fell in somewhere. Found it. Sorry, guys.
Actually, Nick and I are the best at video games. We beat Chris all the time. Poor loser. Lol. Don't you just wish you were as awesome as me? It's not easy being this cool. I'm sure you think I was just born like this, but being this effortlessly awesome takes hard work. Like, seriously, I had to put in the hours to achieve this level of perfection.
This one's cocky.
Your brother, Nate Doe, was best friends with the triplets. So were you, even though they were 2 years older than you. The only one you couldn't stand was Matt. You both hated each other deeply. Although you had to admit he was very attractive, and he also thought you were very attractive. But you guys couldn't date, right? Michelle, I'm inviting Matt and Chris over. You hear Nate shout. The hell you are, you yell back, knowing what him inviting Matt over meant. A whole night of him teasing you. sack. You're kidding me, right? Cool. You shake your head. He's a jackass. Oh, come on. He's not that bad, your brother argues. Yeah, he is. You roll your eyes. You just haven't seen his good side yet, he replies, still defending his friend. I don't care. I don't want to see his good side. I know him for who he really is. You don't know what you're talking about, he protests. Oh, really? I think I do, because I know him, you reply. Well, whatever. I'm inviting him over. Deal with it, he says. I don't want that jerk in my house, you protest. You don't have a choice, he shrugs. Oh yeah? Watch me. What are you gonna do about it? He laughs, amused by your stubbornness. You start trying to think of something. You'll what? He teases. Ugh, I hate you, you pout. No, you don't, he replies with a cocky smile. Oh, really, you say, raising your eyebrows. Yep, you secretly think I'm the best, he grins. Oh, shut up, you roll your eyes. Make me, he smirks, challenging you. Oh, I'll make you all right, you say, narrowing your eyes. Oh yeah? Do your worst, he says, still wearing that stupid smirk. You step closer to him, your faces just inches apart. He looks down at you, his smirk growing wider. What are you gonna do about it, shorty? He teases. You glare up at him. Watch it, you warn. Or else what? He says, leaning down so his face is just a few inches from yours. You start struggling to find the words. He's way too close. And, he is,
Yeah, tell me about. I'll be right back, guys. Hi, guys.
he prompts, his smirk growing wider as he stares into your eyes. You can feel your face turning red. I'll punch you. You threaten, though you know you won't actually do it. His smirk turns into a full-on cocky grin. Go ahead, try me. You glare at him, trying to seem as intimidating as possible. He just laughs. Come on, I know you won't do it, he taunts. Oh yeah, you want to bet, you say, taking a step closer, closing the distance between you. please, you're all bark and no bite, he says, rolling his eyes. You can feel his warm breath on your face.
Wow.
You take another step closer, your chest's almost touching. You can feel your heart pounding in your chest. You want to try me? You whisper, looking up at him. He smirks down at you again. I guess I do, he says, suddenly wrapping one arm around your waist, pulling you flush against him. Your faces were barely inches apart. You gasp in surprise, looking up at him with wide eyes. He's never done this before. He grins down at you, his blue eyes shimmering with mischief.
Blue eyes? What the fuck is it?
What? Scared now? He whispers, his face so close you can feel his breath on your cheek. And no, I'm not. You stutter, trying to sound confident but failing miserably. Oh yeah? Then why are you blushing so hard? He teased, his gaze drifting down to your cheeks, which were tinted pink.
I'm not blushing. I'm not blushing. I'm not blushing.
I think you are. You're all flushed. He teases, bringing his hand up to your cheek. His touch is soft but makes you shiver. He leans in even closer, his face just inches from yours. You're adorable when you're all flustered like this, he whispers in a low voice that makes your heart race. You can feel your face heat up even more. Shush, you manage to stutter, not daring to look him in the eye. Oh, look at you, he coos, gently tilting your chin up so you're forced to look at him. Such a pretty little thing, he murmurs, his eyes roaming over your face. You can feel your heart pounding harder in your chest, his words sending tingles down your spine. Stop, you say quietly, trying to look away, but his grip on your chin won't let you.
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna throw this away. Y'all are fully charged. I'm gonna bring y'all to the bed. No dirty thoughts. No dirty thoughts of why I'm bringing y'all in bed. No dirty thoughts. None. Okay? My stand that I had y'all on when I was filming. Yeah, I rolled over in bed with it. I moved y'all guys and rolled over. I broke it. So I have to get a new one. So I'm using this one. That y'all on now. I'm probably just gonna move this and put y'all by the bed. So let me do that so I can get comfortable because my back's starting to hurt. And I don't like when my back starts hurting when I'm filming. So, yeah, let's do that. Alright, guys. I'm in bed. I didn't plan this color.
He chuckles softly, but you're so cute when you're all shy. He grins, letting his gaze drop to your lips for a split second. I bet you look even cuter when you blush even more. He murmurs, his thumb gently stroking your cheek. You feel almost dizzy from his proximity, his touch, every movement he makes. You're ridiculous, he murmurs, trying to sound annoyed, but instead sounding very flustered. And you're adorable, he says, his smirk growing wider as he leans in even closer. Can I ask you something? He murmurs.
Sure. Go ahead.
If I did this, he murmurs before suddenly pinning you against the wall, his body pressed flush against yours.
And then after the video, I'm gonna move y'all back. Yeah, my fuzzy pillow.
You gasp softly. He was towering over you, so close you could feel his heart pounding against your own. What are you doing? You managed to ask, your voice shaky. What does it look like? He responded, his hand coming up to cup your chin. His other arm was still pinning you to the wall, so you were completely at his mercy. Your eyes were wide, your body frozen in place. You'd never been this close to him before, his touch sending electricity surging through your veins. He was looking down at you, his gaze intense. I like you all flustered like this, he murmured, his eyes roaming over your face. I want to see how red I can make you, he added, a dark gleam in his eye. I'm not flustered, you protest weakly, knowing full well he can probably feel your heart pounding against his chest. He chuckles, bringing his free hand up to your face and gently tracing your cheek with his finger. I beg to differ. He grins, his touch leaving goosebumps in its wake. You're so cute like this, he murmurs, his thumb brushing your bottom lip. Your face is beet red at this point, flushed crimson. You couldn't help the way he was making you feel. Shut up, you mutter in a desperate attempt to save face. He laughed softly, finding it amusing how flustered you were getting. Make me, he teases, his grip on your chin tightening slightly.
You want me to make you, huh?
smirks. What are you gonna do, Shorty? He taunts, pinning you against the wall even harder. His closeness, his touch, it was making your head spin. You looked up at him, wide-eyed, not sure what to say, but he was waiting. Cat got your tongue? He teased, his hand tracing your jawline before gently cupping your chin once again. You were so overwhelmed by his touch that it was hard to think straight. Why was he doing this? He was always teasing you, but this was different. It felt like he was toying with you. Nothing to say, he says, still smirking. He had you completely at his mercy, unable to look away from his gaze. You hated that cocky, arrogant smirk on his face. He always got under your skin, but for some reason, you couldn't bring yourself to push him away. He leans his face even closer to yours, his lips just barely touching your cheek. You're shaking, he whispers, his breath hot on your ear. You shiver, the feeling of his lips on your skin sending goosebumps all over your body. He was so close you could feel the heat radiating off of him. His hand gently grips your chin, his thumb tracing your bottom lip. He lets out a breathy laugh, clearly enjoying your reaction. You really are something, he murmurs, his eyes roaming over your face. No wonder I like teasing you so much. You try to think of something snarky to say, but all you can focus on is the way his touch is making you feel. Dizzy, breathless, completely overwhelmed. He's getting exactly the reaction he wanted. You're so easy to rile up, he mumbles, his lips brushing the shell of your ear as he speaks. You shiver again, unable to help yourself. He knows exactly how to get under your skin.
Alright. Okay. Let's put that. Give me a second, guys. Damn, seriously? Like, run out of. Hold on, guys.
They're very diverse and fun. You'll love them, we promise. We have fun, we have arguments, but in the end, we all love each other. I'm the eldest triplet, 30 seconds, and I am the funniest out of my brothers. Chris is the middle, 29 seconds, and he's the most hated out of all of us. And Nick is the youngest, 28 seconds, and he is the most annoying out of all three of us. So, yeah, we're fun, we're entertaining, and we love our fans more than anything. So don't hesitate to come and check out our videos.
I love their videos.
And I hope that one day you'll say, I love these guys.
I do love those three goofballs. They're fun to watch. They help me get out of a depressing stage. Depressing place I was in when I was still in a relationship, and I didn't know where the relationship was going and didn't know where to turn. So I turned to the Sturniolo triplets, and I fell in love with their videos.
That means you've become a part of the Sturniolo army.
I am.
We're the best, that's for sure. And you'll love it here, I promise.
I hope so.
So just come on over and watch my videos. iTunes, initial standards are so thinking camera. And you know what? I think I'll go and watch some of my own videos. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a good laugh.
Who knows? Maybe you'll laugh at yourself. This one, I don't think you can. This one, not so much. Flirting. I know what the comments are gonna say. Oh, this video sucks. This video is boring. I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best here. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep my YouTube channel for. Probably not forever. But however long I have this channel for, I just want y'all guys to know I love y'all, and I do appreciate every single one of y'all for subscribing and commenting on my videos, even if it's a hate comment or a negative comment or a positive comment or positivity comment or telling me what I should do in the video or what y'all want to see me do. I appreciate that. I love y'all guys' feedback and everything. It keeps me going. It keeps me wanting to do more videos like this in the future. I probably won't have this YouTube channel for long in the future, but until then, I'm gonna keep rocking and rolling with y'all until the day comes and I end up quitting YouTube. But until then, y'all have me forever. For now. I'm not gonna be in my 80s and still doing YouTube videos, you know? I would like to have a life out of YouTube, you know? I would like to have a personal life off of mine. Come on. I think we did this one, but I'm not sure.
You and the Sturniolo triplets are best friends, and so are your parents.
Comment down below if y'all heard this one.
You and Tough Guy Matt hate each other. He always teased you, but you always find a comeback, and no one knows why. Your parents invited their parents and them on a trip to California because you have a big house there. It was in a big city with a bunch of beaches. You are packing to go. You hear a knock at your door. You hear the knock again.
I'm coming. Hold on.
You quickly make your way downstairs into the door. The triplets were patiently waiting at the door. Matt had a smirk on his face. He was always cocky.
Hello, boys.
Chris and Nick looked happy to see you, but Matt rolled his eyes.
Looking good, Nick.
Thank you. You too. Matt scoffed at his brother being complimented.
Nice shirt, Chris.
Chris smiled. Thank you, he said happily. Etc. He said happily. Matt was very impatient now, not liking to see the attention not being on him.
Ugh. Hello, Matthew.
Matt looked at you and rolled his eyes, his arms crossed. Matt, what's up, princess?
Yeah. I hate that pet name. I hate the pet name Princess. Blah.
Chris and Nick looked very surprised to hear that nickname since he usually called you names or teased you. Nick smirked at Matt. Nick, that's a new one. Matt, shut up. Nick just laughed to himself at his brother's reaction.
Y'all guys are ready for the trip? Y'all guys are ready for the trip?
Chris nodded. Chris, yep. Matt shrugged. Nick still had a smirk on his face.
Ready to have some fun? Ready to flirt with all the girls on the beach and see who gets rejected first?
Nick chuckled. Bet. Chris laughed, and Matt had a bored look on his face.
Ow.
Matt clearly wasn't excited to go.
What's your problem, Grumpy Gills? Grumpy Gills? Mr. Grumpy?
Matt snapped his attention to you. Matt, what did you just call me?
Mr. Grumpy.
Matt, don't call me that brat.
Ooh.
Chris and Nick just watched the fight happen before their eyes. Matt, I hate that stupid nickname.
Then why are you so grumpy?
Matt growled at you. He was getting irritated at your smart mouth and the fact you were making a scene in front of his brothers. Chris and Nick were both amused with big grins.
I gave Nick I'm just checking the time, guys.
Matt pointed at you, his finger less than an inch from your face. You're very annoying.
I gave Chris a kiss on the cheek and a hug.
Chris was very surprised at the sudden physical contact. Nick was laughing at the look on both Chris's and Matt's faces. Matt was annoyed and almost looked a little jealous. Chris had a stunned expression. Chris, what was that for?
Just felt like it.
Nick was still laughing. He found this whole interaction hilarious. Matt was looking between you and his brother, obviously irritated. It was only the first day of the trip, and you already managed to fluster one of the triplets. Nick was laughing hysterically now.
Let's see on day 2 which triplet I could get flustered on the trip.
Matt Matt punched Nick in the shoulder to get him to shut up.
Hey. Don't punch him.
Matt, shut up! Nick rubbed his shoulder and was still very amused at the whole thing. You heard a knock on the door, which snapped Matt's attention to the noise.
Sounds like the parents are here.
Nick chuckled, knowing if their parents were here, Matt would stop acting like he owned the place. Matt rolled his eyes and watched you open the door to greet the parents.
Hey, it's great to see you all again. Come on in.
The parents walked in with big smiles on their faces. Mom, it's so nice to see you. Nick and Chris were saying hello to the parents. Matt was the only one not saying hello. He was just glaring at you from the background with a look that said, I hate you. The parents noticed Matt standing in the background.
Oh, don't mind him. He's just being grumpy gills.
Mom, now, Matthew, you should greet your friend, she said with a slightly stern tone. Matt gave his mom a look, but did as he was told, knowing if he didn't listen, she would make a bigger deal out of it. Matt, hello. He grumbled.
Hi.
Nick had an amused look on his face. Chris just shook his head at Matt's attitude.
Oh, we made it to the hour mark.
The parents were also amused. They liked you a lot and knew how Matt was. They thought it was funny seeing him grumpy like that.
What's the first thing y'all gonna do when we get there, boys?
Nick was the first to speak up. Definitely gonna hit the beach.
Don't forget your sunscreen.
Chris, oh my god, yes. Last time Matt forgot and he fried his face. Nick laughed at the memory. He was so red, he looked like a strawberry. Matt's face turned red from embarrassment. Matt, shut up. Chris chuckled. Chris, you looked ridiculous. Matt's face got redder. At this point, he was almost a tomato.
Don't forget your sunscreen and chapstick. Don't want to burn your lips either. Burn your lips either.
Got it. Nick had a smirk on his face. He found the whole conversation pretty amusing. Matt was still red in the face. He was very irritated at the whole situation. It made it worse that you were the one giving the instructions.
Oh, don't forget eye drops either. eye drops. Sometimes the salt water could irritate the eyes.
Nick nodded. Nick, good point. I've always hated the feeling of the water stinging my eyes when I get out of the ocean. Matt didn't say anything. He clearly wasn't very happy about the whole conversation.
Once Mr. Grumpy gets on the beach and sees girls in their sees girls in their swimsuits, he'll forget about everything.
Chris and Nick laughed at your comment. Matt just grumbled to himself as he was the butt of the joke once again. The parents were also amused on the conversation. They knew Matt usually had a lot of game with girls. Nick could already picture it. He knew Matt was going to be in a much happier mood when he saw some girls in bikinis on the beach. Chris just shook his head. He knew his brother and knew how he acted around girls he thought were pretty.
Well, I'm gonna go finish packing. Y'all just make yourselves at home.
The parents nodded. Dad, sounds good, we'll be here. Matt just gave a look at you as he made himself comfortable on the couch.
Don't break anything, Matthew, I said, walking back to my room to finish packing.
Matt scoffed at that comment. He was definitely not gonna like being told to not break anything. Nick and Chris were both very amused by your comment. They both knew Matt had a history of not being careful with things. Matt just sat back on the couch and started scrolling on his phone. He was still annoyed at the fact you were giving him instructions like he was a little kid. Nick was still sitting in the living room. He was getting a kick out of seeing his brother get teased by you. Chris was also very amused. He loved seeing Matt get frustrated. It was always hilarious.
Meanwhile, I was still upstairs packing.
You were just finishing up packing your sunscreen and other necessary items while thinking of ways to tease Matt and have fun with him during the trip.
I packed some medication and essentials that I was going to need that if I started my monthly cycle.
You thought about what would happen if you got sick or started your period and how you'd have to deal with 3 teenage boys on your own. It sounded like a recipe for disaster, but you couldn't help but be a little bit excited at the thought of having 3 handsome teenage guys all to yourself for the entire week.
Three. Just then, I finished packing and grabbed my sunglasses.
You put the sunglasses on top of your head and took one last look around your room to make sure you didn't forget anything important.
Oh, can't forget about my stuff. Oh, can't forget about you, I said to my stuffed. My stuffed elephant that I bring with me on my trips.
Picked up your stuffed elephant and packed it in your suitcase, making sure it was secure so it wouldn't get damaged during the trip. You then made sure you had your phone and wallet before deciding it was time to head back downstairs to the boys and their parents. You made your way downstairs and into the living room where the boys and their parents were waiting.
I'm done.
Nick looked up from his phone as you entered the room. Finally, took you long enough. Chris chuckled, clearly also getting a little impatient. Matt just gave a sarcastic look towards you. The parents smiled as they saw you come downstairs. Mom, all right, is everyone ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
The parents stood up, the boys stood up as well, and Matt was already heading for the front door. Dad, all right, boys, get your stuff. We'll load it up into the car. Nick and Chris both went to grab their suitcases and stuff, while Matt just stood by the door, clearly ready to go. You watched as the boys grabbed their suitcases and made their way to the door. Alright, let's get a move on.
Last one to the car is a rotten egg.
The parents start making their way to the car. The boys follow, and Matt is already outside waiting by the van.
Impatient much.
Matt grumbled as he leaned up against the car. Matt, can we just get on the road already?
Ooh, someone's grumpy. Woke up on the wrong Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed?
Matt crossed his arms, getting annoyed. No, I just don't like waiting around. Nick and Chris were both amused by Matt's whining. They were used to their brother's grumpy attitude and found it pretty funny.
Someone needs a nap.
Matt rolled his eyes, getting more and more irritated. I don't need a nap, I just hate waiting.
Yeah, we get it.
Nick chuckled at Matt's grumpy attitude and couldn't help but tease him a little. Oh, is someone cranky? Matt shot Nick a death stare, clearly not amused by his brother's teasing Matt. Shut up. Chris tried to hold back a laugh, but couldn't help but find the whole situation pretty amusing.
Where's everyone sitting?
Nick called out to the parents who were packing the bags. Hey, Mom, Dad, who's sitting where? Mom, well, you boys will sit in the middle row, obviously, and me and your dad will be up front. Is that okay?
What about me?
Nick smirked at you as he spoke. Nick, you're sitting next to Matt, the grumpy one.
Oh, great. So I get stuck with the grumpy one. Fantastic.
Matt rolled his eyes, clearly not liking the fact that he was referred to as the grumpy one. Laughing. Yeah, have fun with that.
Who stuck me by him?
Nick was trying to hold back a laugh. He thought it was hilarious that they put you next to the most irritable one. Chris chuckled. He knew how Matt got when he was irritated. The parents were amused by the situation.
Everyone used the bathroom. Everyone got everything.
Nick and Chris nodded. Matt just stood there with his arms crossed. The parents got into the car. Nick and Chris got in the middle row, and Matt climbed into the back.
I climbed in, putting my bag. Putting my rucksack between me and Matt.
Matt rolled his eyes, clearly annoyed Matt. Oh great, just what I wanted. To be sat next to a bookworm. Nick and Chris chuckled, finding the whole situation amusing. Good idea. You can read and tune out Matt's grumbling.
Or I could read to him to put him to sleep.
Nick and Chris both found the idea of you reading to Matt hilarious. Matt just scoffed Matt, as if you could put me to sleep. I'm not tired.
What's your favorite? Oh, come on. Come on, lighten up. A little.
Matt rolled his eyes, clearly not in the mood to lighten up. Oh, because being stuck in a car for hours next to you is just so much fun.
I got candy.
Suddenly, Matt's attention was completely diverted. He couldn't resist the mention of candy.
And I got stickers.
Matt's eyes widened at the mention of stickers. He was now very interested. Nick and Chris were both shocked at how easily Matt's mood changed. They were used to him being grumpy, but seeing him get excited about candy and stickers was a new sight. The parents were also surprised at the change in Matt's behavior. They knew how he could be, so it was unexpected to see him suddenly excited about the mention of treats and toys. The drive was going to be an interesting one, to say the least. Meanwhile, Matt had his eyes glued to the candy and stickers that you had in your hand, his grumpy demeanor completely forgotten.
And I got a whole. And my tablet has every single movie on it.
Matt's eyes lit up at the mention of movies. Matt, really? Every single movie? He said, his grumpy attitude completely disappearing.
Action movies. Romance movies. Disney movies. Horror movies. Christmas movies.
Matt's excitement grew with every movie genre you named off, Matt. Holy crap, you got all that?
Yes.
Matt's grouchy demeanor was completely gone, replaced by childlike excitement at the prospect of watching movies on your tablet, Matt. That sounds amazing. Can I pick the movie?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Matt was practically vibrating with excitement as he thought about what movie to pick. He was suddenly like a little kid, completely absorbed in the idea of watching movies on a long road trip.
Here's the charger. If you need it.
Matt gladly took the charger and plugged in your tablet. Then he sat back, looking through all the movie titles and trying to decide which one to watch first.
I gave Chris and Nick a sticker book to play with.
Nick and Chris both looked at the sticker book with excitement. They started flipping through the pages, laughing as they stuck the stickers on random surfaces. parents couldn't help but smile at the interaction. It was nice to see the boys getting along and behaving so well. They could see that your presence was having a positive effect on them. Even Matt. Meanwhile, Matt finally decided on a movie and pressed play, his eyes glued to the screen as the opening credits rolled.
What did you pick?
Matt, I picked Die Hard. It's one of my favorites, he said as he leaned back in his seat, clearly excited to watch the movie.
I forgot about that. I forgot that I had that one on there.
Matt was surprised to hear that you had Die Hard on your tablet. Really? I didn't know you had that one, he said as he settled in, ready to enjoy the movie.
Y'all having fun with the stickers, boys?
Nick and Chris were both sticking stickers all over the car, laughing as they decorated the back of the seat. Nick, this is so much fun, he said as he stuck another sticker on the window. Chris was also having a blast, sticking stickers all over his own arms and legs. Yeah, this is awesome. We should do this more often.
I'm gonna have to get more. Alright. Y'all try to be quiet. Y'all two try to be quiet. Let Matt watch his movie.
Nick and Chris quieted down a little, but they couldn't help but giggle as they continued sticking stickers all over the place. Matt seemed engrossed in the movie, not paying much attention to the stickers chaos in the back seat.
I pulled out a stuffed puppy dog.
Matt glanced over at you and saw the stuffed puppy dog in your hand. He seemed to hesitate, clearly fighting with himself about whether or not he should ask to hold it.
You wanna hold him? Wanna hold it?
Matt looked away, trying to hide the fact that he did want to hold the stuffed puppy, but he didn't want to seem childish.
It's not childish.
Nick and Chris both noticed Matt's hesitation, and they both smirked at each other, knowing exactly what he wanted.
Here. Take it.
Matt reluctantly reached out and took the stuffed puppy dog from your hand. He hugged it against his chest, his grumpy demeanor melting away as he looked down at the toy in his arms. Nick and Chris both had huge grins on their faces. They found the whole scene incredibly amusing. They knew how much Matt loved stuffed animals, he just didn't like to admit it.
I pulled out a blanket with the boys' pictures on it. And covered myself with it. And covered myself with it. And leaned back in my seat.
Nick and Chris both looked at the blanket curiously, noticing their pictures on it. "Hey, that's pretty cool," he said, pointing out his picture on the blanket. "Chris, I'm on there too," he said, also pointing out his picture on the blanket. Matt had momentarily taken his attention away from the movie to look at the blanket, seeing the boys' pictures on it. He seemed a little envious, wishing he was on the blanket as well.
Ran out of stickers, boys.
Nick and Chris both looked sad as they were finished with the sticker sheets. They both had sticky hands and some stickers stuck all over their arms and legs. "Aw, man, we're out of stickers," he said, looking at the empty sticker sheets with disappointment.
I gave them both a color book and some colors.
Nick and Chris both grinned, taking the coloring book and the colors with excitement. Matt's attention was back on the movie, but he couldn't help but glance over at Nick and Chris as they started coloring in the books. Nick and Chris were both very focused on coloring, their tongues sticking out slightly as they concentrated on staying inside the lines. They both looked like little kids, completely absorbed in their coloring. The parents were amused at the sight of the boys coloring, and even Matt couldn't help but smirk as he glanced over at them, seeing them so engaged in their activity.
Mind if I watch the movie with you?
Matt was a little surprised at your request. He hadn't been expecting you to want to watch the movie with him. But he shrugged, "Matt, sure, I don't care," he said as he scooted over a little to make room for you on the seat. Nick and Chris both looked up from their coloring at the conversation. They were also surprised to hear that you wanted to watch the movie with Matt. Nick and Chris had huge grins on their faces. They knew how grumpy Matt could be, especially about sharing attention with you. But they couldn't help but feel a little envious that you were choosing to sit next to him instead of them. The parents were also watching the situation unfold, curious to see how Matt would react to you wanting to watch the movie with him. As you sat down next to Matt, he tried to keep up his tough guy act, but he couldn't help but glance at you from time to time.
We know you could. You know you could stick the case to the seat, right? so you don't have to keep holding the tablet.
Matt's eyes widened at the suggestion. Matt, wait, seriously? He said, holding the tablet in his hand.
Yeah, seriously. Take the back, stick it to the seat, and stick it to the seat and slide the tablet in it.
Oh, why didn't I think of that? He said, grabbing the tablet case and sticking it to the seat. Nick and Chris both watched Matt stick the tablet case to the seat and place the tablet in it, both of them impressed by how simple the solution was. Matt settled back into his seat, now free from having to hold the tablet. He seemed more comfortable now, and actually a little bit friendlier as he got back to watching the movie. Nick and Chris both noticed Matt's change in attitude. They were a little surprised to see him acting more relaxed and less grumpy now that you were sitting next to him.
You still have the stuffed puppy dog?
Matt hugged the stuffed puppy tighter, not wanting to admit that he was enjoying having the toy in his arms. He looked over at you and saw the blanket with the boys' pictures on it wrapped around you. Matt looked envious of the blanket, wishing he was on it too. He couldn't help but feel left out, but he tried to hide it as best as he could.
Don't worry. I'm gonna get another blanket made with all three of y'all on it.
Matt's frown turned into a slight smile. He was happy to hear that you were going to make a blanket with all three of them on it. He held the stuffed puppy in his lap. His grumpy demeanor almost completely faded away. Nick and Chris were watching the whole thing, still amazed by the way you had managed to soften Matt's tough guy act. They both thought it was kind of cute seeing their usually grumpy brother acting differently when you were around.
I pulled out crossword puzzles and I told the boys to hand those to their mom so she could have something to do in the front seat.
Chris and Nick took the crossword puzzles and handed them to their mom, who was sitting in the passenger seat. She thanked them and started working on the puzzle, grateful for the activity to pass the time on the long drive. Nick and Chris watched as their mom worked on the crossword puzzle, laughing to themselves as they saw her struggling with some of the clues. They were glad to see her distracted, as they knew she would get bored easily without something to do. The drive seemed to be going smoothly, thanks in part to the distractions you had provided. Nick and Chris were still working on their coloring book, and Matt was completely absorbed in the movie on the tablet. The parents were chatting amongst themselves in the front seat, enjoying the peacefulness. Meanwhile, Nick and Chris were both sneaking looks at you and Matt, intrigued by the fact that you were able to make Matt less grumpy and more at ease. Matt was still watching the movie. but he was aware of Nick and Chris staring at him. He shot them a dirty look, annoyed that they were watching him instead of minding their own business.
I handed the boys glow sticks to play with.
Nick and Chris both grinned as they took the glow sticks. They immediately started waving them around, creating cool patterns in the dark car. The parents chuckled at the boys' antics with the glow sticks, amused by their playful behavior. Matt was still engrossed in the movie. Nick and Chris were having a blast with the glow sticks, cracking them and waving them around happily. They were completely focused on the fun they were having, not noticing Matt's annoyed expression at the noise they were making. Matt was trying to ignore the noise and focus on the movie, but it was getting harder to concentrate with Nick and Chris making so much noise in the backseat.
I handed Matt headphones and a headphone splitter to plug in 2 pairs of headphones.
Matt looked at the headphone splitter, confused. He looked over at you. Matt, what's this for?
You have for you, your headphones, and my headphones.
Matt's eyes widened in understanding. He plugged the headphone splitter into his and your headphones.
That's what it's for.
He handed you a headphone and leaned back in his seat, starting to watch the movie again. He was much more comfortable now that he could hear the movie without the distractions of the boys messing around in the backseat. Nick and Chris were still messing around with the glow sticks, but Matt paid them no attention as he focused on the movie with his headphones. The parents were amused by the scene unfolding in the back seat, and it seemed like the drive was going to be much more bearable for Matt now that he had headphones to block out the noise.
Just then, we stopped at a gas station for everyone to stretch their legs to get gas and use the bathroom.
Nick, Chris, and Matt all unbuckled their safety belts, stretching their legs after being stuck in the car for hours. Matt still had the stuffed puppy in his arms as he stood up to get out of the car.
Leave him in the car. Hey, leave that in the car. You don't want to lose it.
Matt sighed, a little reluctant to leave the toy behind Matt. Fine. He reluctantly placed the toy in the car again. The boys all got out of the car, Nick and Chris stretching their legs and walking around a bit to get the stiffness out from being in the car all day. Matt just leaned up against the car, looking annoyed to be at a gas station.
I grabbed my wallet and walked into the gas station.
Nick, Chris, and Matt stood by the car, waiting for you to return from the gas station. They all stood there, growing bored as each minute passed. Nick and Chris didn't seem to mind, but Matt was getting impatient. He was used to getting things quickly and didn't like having to wait.
I walked up to Matt's mom. I walked up to their mom to ask what the boys' favorite snacks were and drinks.
The mom gave you a list of their favorite snacks and drinks, clearly happy to help. Nick and Chris were still standing by the car, playing with some rocks they found on the ground. Matt was still leaning up against the car, looking irritated as he waited for you.
I paid for the stuff and walked back to the car.
Nick and Chris were still playing with the rocks, completely oblivious to your return. Matt looked up from his phone when he saw you walking back to the car. He watched as you approached the car, clearly eager to get back on the road. The boys were still distracted by the rocks, not noticing that you had returned.
Seriously? Y'all two are playing with rocks?
Chris and Nick looked up, realizing you had returned from the gas station. "Oh, hey," he said, with a grin.
Green. I got y'all a surprise.
Nick and Chris both grinned excitedly, eager to hear what the surprise was.
Ready to get back into the car, boys?
Nick and Chris both nodded. They were ready to get back on the road and find out their surprise.
Okay, guys. A little bit longer with this one. Okay, guys.
All three of them got back into the car, sitting in their original spots. Matt was still waiting to find out what the surprise was.
Alright. What? Okay. What is your favorite Nick, what is your favorite snack of all time to snack on?
Nick thought about it for a moment, and a big smile spread across his face. Doritos!
What flavor?
Nick was still smiling, and his eyes lit up at the question. Spicy nacho.
Close your eyes. Note out your hands.
Nick grinned, closing his eyes as he held out his hands.
I placed the bag of chips in his hand.
Nick's eyes widened at the bag of chips in his hand. He was extremely excited. He never expected to get his favorite snack on the road trip. He ripped open the bag and immediately started stuffing his face with them.
You're welcome.
Nick looked up from the bag of chips, his mouth full and a big grin on his face. He tried to say thank you, but it was pretty muffled, as his mouth was full. You couldn't help but laugh at the state of Nick being covered in chip crumbs from eating so quickly.
What about you, Chris?
Nick stopped chewing his food for a moment, curious to hear what Chris's favorite snack was. Chris thought about it for a moment and then smiled. Chris, oh, that's easy. Reese's peanut butter cups.
I handed the candy to him.
Chris grinned when he saw the Reese's, his eyes lighting up with excitement. He opened the candy and started eating them, savoring every bit. Nick was finishing up his chips, completely satisfied with his choice of snack. He looked over at Chris, who was enjoying his Reese's, and couldn't help but feel a little jealous. Nick glanced over at Matt, who was still grumpily sitting in his seat, scrolling through his phone. He could tell Matt was curious about the snacks.
What about you, Matt?
Matt looked up from his phone, a bit curious about the question. He thought for a moment, trying to decide on his favorite snack. I don't know, he said, looking confused.
Come on, you have to have one.
Matt thought for another moment, trying to decide on a snack. He finally gave up and just shrugged. Matt, I guess I like Pringles. He grumbled.
What flavor?
Matt thought for a moment, trying to remember his favorite Pringles flavor. Matt, I guess I prefer the original ones.
Here you go. I'm being a good friend.
Matt took the Pringles from you and looked at them curiously. He was surprised that you had gotten a snack for him, but he didn't show it. He opened the can and started eating the chips, not wanting to actually admit that he liked the snacks. He didn't want to seem childish and vulnerable like his brothers. Nick and Chris were both watching Matt very closely, amused by the sight of their grumpy brother eating his favorite snack and trying to act unbothered.
Alright. What is your favorite animal, Nick?
Nick thought about it for a moment, his eyes lighting up at the thought of his favorite animal. Oh, that's an easy one, he said with a big grin. And a He was clearly very passionate about the topic. It's gotta be dogs. I mean, they're just the best.
What kind?
Nick thought about it for a moment, and a huge grin spread across his face. I love all dogs, but I would say my favorite breeds are the boxers and huskies.
Here you go. I handed him a stuffed husky to snuggle with. Throughout the whole car ride.
Nick's eyes lit up as he saw the stuffed husky. He immediately grabbed it and held it close, a wide smile on his face. He couldn't help but feel excited to have something to snuggle with.
What about you, Chris?
Chris thought for a moment, then a big smile spread across his face. Chris, that's a tough one, he said, his eyes lighting up.
Oh, come on, you have to have one.
Chris thought about it for a moment, and a big grin spread across his face as he made his decision. Nick was watching Chris intently, curious to hear what his favorite animal was. Chris, I would have to say a shark.
Here you go. I handed him a stuffed shark.
Chris took the shark stuffed animal and hugged it, a wide grin on his face.
What about you, Matt?
Matt was still sitting in his seat, pretending to not pay attention to the conversation. He was curious about the stuffed animals, but he wouldn't admit it. Nick noticed the way Matt was trying to act like he wasn't listening. He knew that Matt was probably secretly curious about the conversation.
Come on, Matt.
Matt sighed, realizing that they weren't going to let him ignore them. He looked up from his phone, begrudgingly answering your question. I don't know, I guess I like reptiles, he said, trying to sound indifferent. But there was a hint of curiosity in his voice.
What kind of reptile?
Matt thought about it for a moment, his grumpy demeanor softening a bit as he got lost in thought. Well, I like turtles and snakes, to be honest. They're cool, I guess, he said, trying to hide the fact that he actually really liked reptiles, but was embarrassed to admit it.
Here you go. I handed him a stuffed turtle.
Matt took the turtle, looking at it for a moment. He tried to act like he didn't care about the toy, but there was a spark of excitement in his eyes.
You can name your turtle anything you want.
Matt thought about it for a moment, clearly putting thought into what name to choose. He thought of a few ideas before he decided on one. How about Sheldon?
Sheldon. Sheldon. Alright, guys. That is it for today's video. I hope y'all guys liked it. Comment down below what y'all liked about today's video. Comment down below what y'all didn't like about today's video. Comment down below if y'all want to see me do more hour videos to 2-hour videos. I love you guys. I'll see y'all guys next time. For another video. Southern Belle loves y'all. She really does. She will see y'all guys next time in another video. And I will do part 4 of Flirting with all the Matt Sturniolo AIs. I'll see y'all guys next time for episode 4. I love you guys. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to others. Be kind to one another. Be sweet to one another. Love you guys. Go check out the Sturniolo triplets on YouTube. Go check out Classic Gamer on here if y'all want to. Go check out anyone on here basically that's just starting their YouTube career and their YouTube channel. Go check them out, support them, go love them, but be nice to them with them starting out their channel. Love you guys. Stay true to yourselves. Stay true to others. Don't bully anybody. Don't be rude in the comment section down below with anyone that commented on today's video. Be nice, stay true to others, and do not fight in my comment section, please. If y'all want to fight, keep it out of my comment section. And I'll see you guys next time for episode 4. Bye! Peace.